Sonnet 72. A hapless June circles on lunar spare, yet the dim hallow, whose cold powers ordain long over these vales should sweep in misty train the pall continuous showers that sulling smear the radiant liles drawing on the plain. Bend low with riveled leaves of clinkered stain the drenched and heavy rose, yet pledged and dear fair hope still holds the promise of a year. Suspend her anchor on the silver horn of her next waxing orb, O June the day, robbed of its golden eve and rosy morn, and gloomy as the winter's ridgy sway leads sunless, lingering, disappointing hours over song's silent glades and dropping bowers. Sonnet 20. Ah, might arrange each hollowed bow and glade, muses cultured, many raptured sigh, what would dear local conscience supply? Beneficed willow the growth of shade, whose rufous hand with oars and shells inlaid, how sweet to watch with revival eye, for the spread arc the streams he oft survived, thin blue phases gently wandering by. This is the poet's triumph and its towers. Our life's pale ills is consciousness of power, that lift his memory from oblivion's gloom, secure train of these heart-thrilling hours by his idea decked in rapture's bloom, for spirits rightly touched through ages yet to come. Sonnet 5. To a friend who thinks sensibility a misfortune. Ah, thankless, canst thou envy him who gains the stoic cold and indolent repose? Woe with thy lively sense of bliss and woes, from a false balance of life's joys and pains. Thou damn'st him happy, placed mid fair domains, before the river down the valley flows, as wisely mightst thou wish thy home had rose on the parched surface of unwatered plains. For wet, when long the heavy rain descends, burst over garden banks where whelming tide seldom the wild and wasteful flood extends, but spreading plenty murder beauty wide, the cool translucent stream purple bends, and laughs a wail as the bright water glide. Sonnet 17. Ah, why have I indulged my distant sight with scenes and hopes delusive mirror shown, scenes where too seldom human life is known and kind accomplished? But oh, how bright the rays that gilded when the varied light returned of swift flashing on the boon that might at fame's immortal shrine be won, when shining soft on tender love's delight, now with stern hand fate draws the sable veil, and for frail glass hope, as she turns away the darkened crystal drops, heavy and pale, rain-pouring clouds quench all the darts of day. Long mourns the wind alone with a gloomy dale, and holds the death bell in reposing gale. Sonnet 94. All is not right with him who ill-sustained retrirement's silent hours. Himself he flies, perchance from that inspired equipose, which always with a hapless mind remains, but feels no native bias, never gains one energy of will that does not rise from some external cause, which he hides from his own blanket inanity. When he reigns with a strong cut-up mind, with wretched hate to common with himself, and woven tales of some lost joy or dreaded stroke of fate, he struggles to escape, or sensual dreads on secret guilt towards God or man with wide thrice dire, the self-exhaling flight impels. Sonnet 4. To Honora's snail, whose health was always best in winter, and now the youthful, gay, capricious spring, piercing her showery clouds with crystal light, and with her hues reflected shrieking bright, a radiant bow bites all her ravings sing, the lark shrill caroling on soaring wing, the lonely thrush and brake with blossoms white, that tunes his pipes so loud, while from the side, coy bending the dropped heads, young cowslips filling, which perfumed over the fields. It is the prime of hours that beauty rose, yet all were guilt, cheer, and delight in this were fragrant time. For thy dear sake to me this pleasure yield, when, veiled in sleet and rain and hoary rime, dim winter's naked hedge and pleasure field. Sonnet 16. Apollo at his crowded altars, tired of what tears, of what tried ideas thrown into loose verse, assume in lofty tone the poet's name, untaught and uninspired, indignant struck the lyre, straight it acquired new powers that complicate, When first was known the Derwent sonnet to be framed alone, by tedious bards, or by just taste admired. Go, energic sonnet, go, he cried, and be the test of skill, a rhymes that flow regardless of our rules, a destined guide. Yet take thy name, let the voters know, where a strict sway my jealous laws preside, while I no refts on rebel verse bestow. Sonnet 80. As lightens the brown hill to vivid green, when Juven's scant April's showy sun looks on its side with golden glance at noon, so on the gloom of life's now faded scene shines the dear image of those days' scenery, for memory's consecrated treasures won. But days that rose a youth, and years were flown, soft as the morn of May, and well I ween if they had clouds, and time's emblemic clear, they vanished all, my gay visions glows in brightness unobscured, and now we were a more than prisoned sunniness, which froze those mild reflected lights that soften care, loss of loved friends, and other train of woes. Sonnet 32. Behold him, now his genuine colours were, with specious false one, by whose cool wiles I lost my amity, saw I dear smiles, eclipsed those smiles that asked my heart to cheer, waked with grateful sense of many a year, when rose by youth, by friendship pledged toils, cultured by dying, oh, forever fade, the angry fires, each fought but might upbraid, by broken faith, which yet my soul deplores, now as eternal is past and gone, and as the interest of many hours, days, years, we share together. They are flawed, yet long must I lament my hapless doom, my lavish life and early hasted tomb. Sonnet 92. Behold the tree, in autumn's dim decay, stripped by the frequent chill and edging wind, where yet some yellow, lonely leaves we find, lingering and trembling on the naked spray, 20, perchance, for millions while away. Emblem, alas, too just, of humankind, vain man expects longevity, designed for few indeed, and their protracted day, what is it worth when wisdom does not scorn the blasts of sickness, care and grief pale, that laid with friends in dust, whose natal morn rose near their own? And solemn is the call, yet like those weak, deserted leaves forlorn, shivering they cling to life and fear to fall. Sonnet 24. Behold the day, an image of a year. The year can image of our life's short span. Morn like a spring with groaning light began, spring like our youth with joy and beauty fair. On picturing summer, summer's ardent sphere, manhood's gay portrait. Eve like autumn, one autumn resembling fate ancient man. Night with its silence and its darkness drear, emblem of winter's Thro and gloomy rain. When topide lies vegetative powers, winter, so shrunk, so cold, reminds us plain of a mute grave that over the dim course allows, where shall we very rest, nor own remain, to the pale slumber of life's checkered hours. Sonnet 7. By Derwent's rapid stream, as oft I strayed, within fancy's light, step and glazed wide, and saw waste rocks on steady mountains peeled, from over the ambrose glen, or plashed so wide, the cloud moonshine in the shadowy glade, romantic nature to his enthusiastic child, could dure, for when Seward the smile, in uncontrasted loveliness arrayed, but oh, in every scene with scared sway, a grace fire me of a bloom that spreads, resplendent in the lucid morn of May, till green light but in a glow warm sheds, on mossy banks when midnight glooms prevail, and softest silence broods over all the day. Sonnet 18. An evening in November, which had been stormy, gradually cleared up in a mountainous country. Cheesed is the rain, but heavy drops yet fall over drenched roof. It murmurs with sunk wind round dim hills, and yet a passage find, whistling through yon cleft wreck and ruined wall. The swollen and angry torrents heard, a pale, or distant, a few stars, emerging kind, shed where of green trembling beams. With a lustrous small, the moon, her swiftly pacing clouds behind, gilded over the shaded hill. No blast removed, or shadowing clouds, and on the mountain's brow, full orbed she shines, half sunk within its cove, half the lone boat with gulfing sound, and lo, bright rolls the setting lake and brimming grove, waves blue rills, and glittering as they flow. Sonnet 12. chilled by unkind Honora's altered eye, there drops my heart with fruitless woes forlorn, thankless for much of good, with thousands born to peaceless toil beneath this wintry sky, or to brave deathful oceans surging high, or fear, disease, feathered rage to mourn, or blessed of them would seem my destiny. How dear the comforts my wish so scorn, affectionless repeat by causeless hate, of lighted love is changed to cold disdain. Yet suffer not the wrongs to show their fate, but turn my soul to blessings which remain, and let with truth the wise resolve create. The heart is strength, no anguish can regain. Sonnet 67. Cloud awful Johnson want poetic ear. Fancy your judgment. No, his splendid strain and prose a rhyme confused with clear. The pain which reft our Garrick fortune shows us clear whence all his spleen to genius. I to be a friend's renown, that to his own must reign, compared amateur's and vacant strain to Jupiter's fixed orb, proves that each sneer, subtle and fatal to poetic sense, did from insidious envy meanly flow, illumed with dazzling hues of eloquence and sophist wit, that labour to overthrown draws of ages and new laws dispense, that lift the mean and lay the mighty low. Sonnet 46. Dark as the silent stream beneath the night, the funeral glides to life's eternal home, child of its narrow house. How late the bloom, the facial smile, the soft eyes crystal light, each grace of youth's gay morn, that charms our sight, played over that form, nor sunk in death's cold gloom. Incense stays, ghastly, for the yawning tomb. Alas, fit inmate, was we mourn the blight of virgin beauty and indulgence rare, in the glad hours of promise. Oh, when age drops like the o'erblown faded rose, though dear, its long known worth no stormy sorrows rage, but swell when we behold it unsoiled by time, youth's broken lily perished in its prime. Sonnet 62. Dim gurgs the vital flame in his dear breast, from whom my life I drew, and thrice has spring bloomed, and fierce winter thrice on darkened wing, out of the grey waste fields, since he possessed or strength of frame or intellect. Nor bring no more nor eve his cheerful steps that pressed the pavement leg-feared in the spirit blessed of social gladness. Where failed and cling feeble to the fixed chair, no more to rise, elastic arm. My heart forebodes that soon the full of days shall sleep. No spring's soft sights, no winter's blast awaken him. Begun the twilight, night is long, but o'er his eyes livery slumbers weigh the pale lids down. Sonnet 61. Disciple of a bright Aonian Maid, in my life's blossom a resistless spell, amid the wide wood and rigorous dread, O filmy hill and fulminate glade, lead thee for thy votive reves to braid, the flaunts the masquerades and azure bells, not so Lucretian's brook or silent well, was wood her inspirations, the rapt aid liberal she gave, not only through the strain, breathe her pure spirit, while the charms beguiled the languid hours of sorrow, of pain. But when youth's tide ran high, and tempting smiled, certain pleasure rescuing did she stand, broke the enchantress cup and snapped her wand. Sonnet 23. Do I not tell thee surely winter's flown, with the brook's verges green, and bide thee here in an igorous wail, the blackbird clear, at measured intervals with mellow tone, crying the hours of prime, and call mine ear to the gay vale dining in the dale, with tabor load, and bagpipes rustic drone, to merry shrivels dance, or yes to tale. From festal board, from cold roofs the song, and speak of the mask of pagan to beguile, the caustic memory of cruel wrong. By lips acknowledgment with the generous wile, and bite me still the effort kind prolong. But where were a cold and joyless smile? Sonnet 19. Farewell, false friend, all scenes of kindness close. The caudal looks, the sunny smiles farewell. To sweet consolings that can grief expel, every joy soft sympathy bestows. For altar looks, where truth no longer glows, for haste prepared my heart, and it was well to bide the bent unlock for storytell. Falsehood awoke, that shamed no sorrow knows. Oh, when we met, but this time try to avoid it as foe-mates do neither bro, nor in the stealing consciousness of eye be seen the slightest trace of what or how we once were to each other. nor one side flatter the weak regard a broken woe. Sonnet 25. Fortunate Vale, exulting hill, dear plain, where morn and eve my soul's flare idle straight, while all your winds but murmured through the glade, stole her sweet breath, yet your paths retain, prints of a step I found whose floods remain, in depth unfountained, mined rocks that shade with caverned arc my sleep. Your streams that played around her limbs in summer ardent rain, the soft resplendence of those azure eyes, think ye with living light, in wide claim these blessed distinctions give, my lyre my sight, my songs record, and from the poet's flame, bright with wild yale, its rocks and streams arise, associate still of a bright mistress fame. Sonnet 82. From a rife tree that stands beside the grave of a self-slaughter to the misty moon, calls the complaining oats a night's pale noon. And from a hut far on the hill to rave is heard the angry bent dog. With loud wave, rose and troubled river surged down, swollen with the mountain's rains, and dimly shown appeals the sense. Yet see, from yonder cave, a shelter and a reason, stormy showers, with anxious brow, a fond expecting maid steals towards the flood. Alas, for now appears a lover's vacant boat, the broken oars whirl down the tide. What images invade, aghast, the stance, the statue of a fierce. Sonnet 45. From possibility's dime chaos sprung, high o'er its gloom the heretic power, arose, exulting nations hailed the hour. Magnific boast of science, loud they sung, a victory over the element that hung, prising the earth, the beings who now soar, aerial heights. But wisdom wide explores, with wonted skill, if tides of air among, we know to steer or bark. Her science finds, her buoyant hopes burst like the bubble wane, type of his art gilded, if still she blights. The sense of fear persists the flame to fan, skywarding pride, but to the aweless winds, throws for an idle show the life of man. Sonnet 3. Wet-net buxton in a rainy season. From these wild highs, whereof a mist descend, and rains which shroud the sun and chill the gale, each transient gleaming interval we hail, and rove the naked valleys and extend our gaze around, where yon vast mountains blend. Billowy clouds will o'er assume its sail, pondering how little nature's charms befriend the barren scene, monotonous and pale. Yet solemn will the darkening shadows fleet, succeed over wide and silent hills, gilded by watery sunbeams when we met, peculiar poem of vision, fancy thrills and ounce as no seen so rude and bare, but nature sheds or grace or grandeur wear. Sonnet 54. Guard thou, my son, the helpless and the poor, none the chains of thine own indolence. Slumber and await while the joys of sense engross thee, and thou say'st, I ask no more. Wise man the shepherd's slumber will deplore, and rebellious wolf has slept o'er vents, and ranges through the fold. My son, dispense those laws, but justice to the wronged restore. The common weal should be the first pursuit of a crowned warrior for the royal brows, the people first enreft. We are the root, the king the tree, and lofty spreads his sports glorious, but learn impetuous youth, as length trees from root alone derive their strength. Sonnet 75. He found her not, yet much the poet found, to swell imagination's golden store, and on his bank and on that bloomy shore, warbling poffen note in the wide bound, where Rome's forlorn companion stretched round her ruins, towers, and temples. Classic lore breathing slumbering spirit from the power of local consciousness, thrice heavy wound, given by his sleeping graces, as the fair hung over them emerald, but aspire, the found result inspired, what winged him where breathed each Roman and each Tuscan lyre might haply fan the emerald flame that rose so Dante's song and revealed Homer's fame. Sonnet 73. He who a tender long-loved wife survives, sees himself sundered from the only mind, whose hopes and fears and interests were combined and blended with its own. No more she lives, no more, alas, her death numbered ear receives his thoughts that trace the past, or anxious wind, the future darkling maze. His wish refined to wish the please exists no more, but gives the will its energy, the nerves their tone. He feels the texture of his cry torn and stopped the settled course that action drew. Life stands suspended, motionless, till thrown by outward causes into channels new. But in retreat suspense, how sinks the soul forlorn? Sonnet 83. Here from laborious art proud towns ye rose. Here in an instant sunk, no aught remains of all ye were. On the wide lonely plains, not e'en a stone that might these words disclose. Here stood Catania, on whose surface shows that this was the rescue. Alluring reigns a trackless desolation. Dim domains, pale, mournful strand, oft with anxious throes seek I sad relicts, which no spot supplies. A silence, a fixed horror sears my soul. Rest my foot, dear, dread doom of human crimes. What art thou? Ye overwhelming cities, rise, with your terrific skeletons, may scowl, portentous warning to succeeding times. Sonnet 10. Honora, shall the cruel time arrive, when gainst my truthful shoulders my errors pause, scorning remembrance of our vanished joys, when for the love form looks in which I live, but cold respect might greet me, but should give no tender glance, no kind regretful sight. Nor shall pass me with averted eyes, feigning or sees me not to sting and gripe, and sink my sad heart. I could not bear such dire eclipse of my soully chain race. I could not learn my struggling heart to tear, whom my loved form would throw my memory strays, nor on the pale horizon of despair endure the wintry and the darkened days. Sonnet 51. How comes to youth, gliding through azure skies, with emerald crown? Her full robe, snowy white, floats on the gale, no exulting sight marks its affair. On waning life she flies, wrapped in a mist, covering her starry eyes with a fair hand. But now, in floods of light, she meets thee, Sylvia, and with gallants bright as lucid streams, when spring's clear mornings rise, from heaven's kindling torch a yellow ray, the shining texture of our spotless west. Gilds and the month that gives the early day, the scant obdures and the cold blessed. Pride of a rising year, enarmed May, paints its redolent folds with flority gay. Sonnet 11. How sweet rove from summer sunbeams veil, in gloomy dingles, or to trace the tide of wandering brooks where pebble beds that chide, to feel the west wind cool refreshment yield, that comes soft creeping of flowery field, and shadowed waters and rose bushy side, the mountain bees their fragrant treasure hide. Murmuring and sings the lonely thrush concealed, when ceremony and the gilded halls, where forced frivolously ye themes arise, with bow and smile unmeaning. How hope hails and we wine my sense, how oft it sighed for leisure, wood lanes, dales and waterfalls, and felt the untempered heart of sultry skies. Sonnet 40. I love to rise, where gleams the tardy light, winter's pale dawn, and as warm fires illume, and cheerful tapers shine around the room, through misty windows bend my musing sight, where round the dusky lawn, the mansions white, the shutters closed, peer faintly through the gloom, but slow ascends, while on grey spirits assume, rising from the dark pile, and added high by indistinctness given, when to decree the grateful thoughts to God, hereby unfold, to friendship or the muse, or seek with glee wisdom's rich page. Our hours, more worth than gold, by whose blessed use we lengthened life, and free from dear decays of age, outlive the old. Sonnet 29. If genius has its danger, grief and pain, but common sense escapes, yet who would change the powers through nature and through art would range, to keep the bounded, though more safe domain of moderate intellect, where all we gain is cold approvals. How sweet the strange, soft and sublime, and vivid interchange, nor glad the spirit, nor enrich the brain. Destructive shall we deem your noontide blaze, if transiently the eye overpowered design, distinct perception. Shall we rave praise the moon when light, if the owner's choice incline, with common sense a lunar lamp should raise, when that the solar fires of genius shine? Sonnet 38. If he whose bosom with no transport swells, in vernal airs and hours commits the crime of soilness to nature gainst the time, And its great ruler here light rebels, whose sereness and pious dread repeals, and all his gaze on the fated clime, dim in the gloom and pale in the horror rime, and of a beak and wary prospect steers. Spring claims our tender, grateful, gay delight, winter our sympathy, and scattered fear, and show the heart's pain or pity's right, a wild calamity, but careless here. Creation's wail neglected, admit her blight, the solemn lesson of a ruined year. Sonnet 35. In April's gilded morn, when south winds blow, and gentle shake the hawthorn's silver crown, wafting its scan of host glade adorn, the wealthy shelter of abounding doe, when, under trees, soft tufts of primrose show the pallid yellowing flowers. To the moist sun, blue hardbells peep, while cold lips stands unblown, plighted to repair May, and lavish flow, the lark's loud carols in the wilds of air. Oh, not for nature's glad, enthusiastic cling, average and pride. Woe her no blooming sphere, charmed as he rose, his thoughts in raptured spring, to him who gives frail man's appointed time these chilling hours of promise and of pride. Sonnet 50. In every breast affection fires, where dwells a secret consciousness, to what degree, where himself be loved, we hourly see the involuntary proof that either quells or ought to quell false hopes, or sets us free from pain distrust. But over misery, weak self-delusion timely repeals, the lights obtrusive, shrinks from all that tells unwelcome truths, and vainly seeks repose. For startled founders, in the obtate balm of kind profession, or betrays it flows to hushed complaint. How in belief's clear calm, or mid the lurid clouds of doubt, we find love rise the sun, or comet of the mind. Sonnet 74. In sultry noon, when youthful Milton lay, supinely stretched beneath the poplar shade, lured by his form, a fair Italian maid steals from a loitering carrier to survey, with slumbering charms that honor soul betray, when, as coiffeest that Marius gaze upbraid, starts, and these lines with hurried pen portrayed, slides in his half-closed hand, and speeds away. Ye eyes, ye human stars, if thus conquered by sleep's soft veil, ye agitate my heart. Ah, what had been its conflict if revealed? Your race had shown, bright nymph, the strains impart, hopes that impede the graceful bard drove, seeking for Tuscan Wales his visionary love. Sonnet 57. In the chill silence of a winter eve, for Lichfield's darkened streets I bend my way, by wet, sad mansion where narrowed clay awaits the morning knell, and oft perceive in the late bridal chamber the clear ray of numerous lights, while over the ceiling stray shadows of those who frequent pass beneath, robe the pale dead. What sounds my senses grief, for now the busy hammer stroke appals, red and red note of preparation falls closing the sable lid. With sighs I bear these solemn warnings from the house of woes, pondering how late for young Nenia, where joyous the laugh in your morn arose. Sonnet 6. Written at Lichfield, in an eastern apartment of a bishop's palace, which commands a view of Stowe Valley. In this chill morning of a wintry spring, I look into the gloomed and rainy Yale. The sullen clouds, the stormy winds assail, lawn the fields, and with impetuous wing disturb the lake. My laugh and memory cling to a known scene in this cloud influence pale, yet prized as when it blooms in summer's gale, think by his setting sun, when sorrows fling, or slow disease, was there some beauteous form where shadowy longus formed joyous dear, as fine to me, Honora, with more warm and anxious gaze the eyes of love scenery, bend on the charms, diamond the tinted snow, when with elf's vermilion hue they glow. Sonnet 40. Ingratitude, how deadly is thy smart, proceeding from the form we fondly love, how light compared all our sorrows prove, for sheets of night of woe, for whence depart the gentle beams of patience, that thy heart mid lesser ills is view. Thy victims rove, unquiet as the ghost that haunts the grove, where murderers paid the life blood, or thy dart kills more than life, e'en all that makes life dear, till we, sensible of pain, would change for frenzied that defies the bitter tear, or wish in kindred colonists to range, where moon aid idiocy, the fallen lip, drag her loose knee and intermitting step. Sonnet 59. Lady, each soft effusion of a mind flowing through the free pen shows be endued with taste so just for all of wise and good, as bites me hope the spirit does not find. Young as thou art, with solitude combined, with wish of change, but irksome lassitude, which often through unwearied days obtrude on youth's rash bosom, dangerously inclined to pant for more than peace. Which volumes yield where soul endoning wealth, beyond aeons these shall consciousness of filial duty gild. The gloomy hours, when winter's turbid seas roar round the rocks, and the dark tempest lowers, and mourn the winds round Attic's lonely towers. Sonnet 33. Last night, performed by hours of summer blessed, was ice illuminated all my youthful years. Spirit of dreams, at thy command could pierce each airy shape, but visiting our rest, dismays, perplexes, our delights the breast. Pensive heart, with kind indulgent cheers, bliss in a waking moment now possessed, bliss ask of thee with memory's thrilling tears. Nightly I cry, how oft, alas, in vain. Give, by the powers that airy shapes control, Honora to my visions. Ordain, a beauteous lip may wear a smile that stole. In years long fled, the sting from every pain, shower sweet face, are showered to my soul. Sonnet 76. Lo, modern critics amusedly dare ape the great despot, thrown pompous tone, and messy words where true no meaning down. But while their envious eyes on genius glare, on angstrom's face assiduously they square, and arrogant entities, their throne lowers on the bow of justice to disown the kindred malice with its mimic air. Spirit of common sense must we endure, when crucitation hard without the gem. Finding the anars ring, the winding source, the oak's rove knots on every oyster's steam, the dark contours of visible ear, whose inspirations never met our ear. Sonnet 42. Lo, the year's final day. Nature performs its obsequies with darkness, wind, and rain, but man is joyous, hark, like sullen strain. From towers and stepless drones, wintry storms, no village spire, but to the cold and farms, white merrily its scant and tuneless peal rings round. Ah, joy ungrateful, mirth insane, wherefore the senses trip, ye who feel this annual portion of brief life awhile depart forever. Brought it no dear hours, or health and night rest, none will soar the smile on lips beloved. Oh, with the gentle powers, where the next pass ye pause, yet careless here, strike these last clocks that knelt expiring year. Sonnet 52. Long as the pawn of midnight quenched the scene, and wept the hushed horizon, all around in scattered huts, labor in sleep profound, lie stretched and rosy innocent serene slumbers, but creeps with pale and starting mind, benighting superstition. Fancy found the late self-slaughtered man in earth yet green and westering, bursts from his uncombed mount, roams. And the slave of terror thinks he hears, and muttered groan, sees the sunk eye that glares as shouts the meteor. But no more forlorn he strays, the spectre sinks into his tomb. For now the joyous herald of the morn claps his bowed wings and sounds along the gloom. Sonnet 55. Loud blue will nor through April-pallid days, nor grass the field, nor leaves the grove obtains, nor crystal sunbeams, nor the gilded rains that bless the hours of promise, gentle rays, warmth in the blood, the founted fire blazed, which makes it boil along the throbbing veins. Albeit displeased, her own loved springs erase, passing with volant step a russet plains. Cease here to summer's fierce embraces speed, pale and unrobed, faithless, or well-matched height, close in his sultry breast a recent head, adduced, neglected the distinguished isle, and winter's ice arms so long abide. A Briton vainly languished for the smile. Sonnet 100. Lyre of a sonnet has full many a time amused my lassitude and soothed my pains, and graver cares forbade the lengthened strains to the brief bound and oft-reunite chime along farewell. The splendid forms of rhyme and grief and lonely ophanisms reigns, oppress the dropping soul. Death's dark domains from mournful shadows of the unknown climb, for in their silent bourne by filial bands lie all dissolved and swiftly wasting poor from a frail glass of life. Heaves sparkling sands, sleep then, my lyre, the tuneful task are over, sleep. For my heart, a briefed and listless head, wake me rapt touch, my glowing strength no more. Sonnet 65. My callous sense of ardors of my strain, to the young eyes and kindling fancy, gleam with somewhat of a vivid hues, that stream from posy bright orb, each envious strain, sheet by dull critics, venal, vexed and vain, seems recompensed at full, and so would seem did nature's son of foes deem my verse annoy. Though in time shall gain, like vain, amid the lettered world with sway, which makes encomium fame, so though adorn, extend, refine, and dignify the lay, and indolence, and so pleasures gone, when at high noon the genius shall display the splendors promised in its shining morn. Sonnet 85. March, to my hours of promise, with bright ray, may gild the noons, yet the wild pinion borne. Loud winds more often rudely wake the morn, and harshly hem the early closing day. Still the child's earth wears with her treasure shorn, her bleak grey garb, yet not foes we mourn, nor, as in winter's more enduring sway, the festal viands and associates gay. Arm gains the Ceas, nor shun the piercing gale, but with blue checks and with discorded hair, meet its rough brief, and peep for primrose pale, or lurking violet under hedges bare, and through long evenings from our lairs claim the thrift of stinted grate and sullen flame. Sonnet 81. My angel sister, though the lovely form perish in youth's gay morning, yet is mine. With precious ringlet still the soft hair shine, still glow the nut-brown tines, all bright and warm with sunny glee. Alas, each candle charm, vanished long signs deep in the silent shrine, withered to shapeless dust, and of her grace memory alone retains the faithful trace. Dear lock, had the sweet owner lived, or now time on her brow had faded thee, my care screened from the sun and dew the golden glow. And was her early beauty dust from were, though all of that fair frame my love could save from the resistless ravage of a grave. Sonnet 90. My hour is not yet come, these burning eyes have not yet locked their last, else might roar of his wild storm what gloom joy to pour my thread, exhaling so. Sublime to rise, rend the conflict's clothes, inflame the Ceas, and lash the torrents. Bending to explore or evening seat, my straining eye, once more, roves the wide watery waste, but naught descries save a pale flood, overwhelming as it strays. Yet, oh, lest my remorseless fate decree, that all I love with life's extinguished race, sink from my soul to soothe agony, to balm that life whose loss may forfeit we. Come, dear remembrance of departed days. Sonnet 43. My memory, long accustomed to receive in deep engraven lines each varying trait, past times and seasons war can find no date through many years. Oh, May, when thou hatest leave, as now of a great sun, serene to reeve the fragrant chapels and poetic state, to call the jocose hours when we do wait, bringing each day at morn, at noon, at eve, his mild illuminations. Nymph no more is fine to mourn, beneath the scanty shade of half-blown foliage, showing to deplore, by garlands measure, by writing unpaid. Weeds drop with gold again to where belong, soft gales, luxuriant flowers, and woodland song. Sonnet 66. Noble to scorn, the gilded veil to wear, soft simulation, wisely to abstain, from fostering envy as to dash the bane. Far from our hearts, which hate with foreign zero, extends for those who wrong us, to rove of soul, or grateful, or resigned to train, or mercious at of trail, is to gain. A quiet consciousness, best of blessing here, calm consciousness, is a land encircled bay, on whose smooth surface tempests never blow, which shall the reflex of our life display. Unsustained by crime, though gloomed with transient woe, by the bright hopes of heaven's eternal day, upon the fair and silent waters glow. Sonnet 58. Not the slow years, were not the sable plumes, the pagan statue bending over ruin, the dark robe floating, the dejection worn on the drooped eye, and lip no smile illumes. Not all this pomp of sorrow it presumes, it pays affection's depth and due concern, to the forever absent, to it mourn, fashions a lot in time. If time consumes, while life is ours, the precious vestal flame memory should hourly feed, and through each day she with word we see, hear, think, or say, blend not the image of avenged flame. How can the alien heart expect to prove, in worlds of light and life, a reunite love? Sonnet 36. Now on hills, rocks and streams, and vales and plains, for look with shining day, our gardens were the gorgeous robes of a consummated year. With laugh and shout and song stood maids and swain, heap high the fragrant hay, as through lanes rings the yet empty wagon. Sea and air, the pendant cherries, red with tempting stains, gleam road bows. Summer my bright career must slacken soon in autumn's milder sway, when wine or hept and jocose meads shall stand, smooth, vacant, silent, through the exulting land, as wave the rival golden fields and gay a reaper's throng. She smiles and binds the sheaves, and bend her parting step of thorn and rustling leaves. Sonnet 48. Now young-eyed spring, on gentle breeze borne, mid the deep woodlands, hills, and vales and bowers, unfolds her leaves, her blossoms and her flowers, pouring their soft luxuriant on the morn. Oh, how unlike the withered, wan, forlorn, and limping winter, with our rusted moors, grey ridgy fields, and ice-encrusted shores strays, and commands his rising winds to mourn. Protracted life thou art ordained to wear, a form like his, and shout the gifts be mine. I tremble lest a kindred influence drear steal on my mind, my pious hope beneath. The soul's bright day spring shall it word with fear, and gild existence in a dim decline. Sonnet 31. How ever dear, thy precious vital powers sing rapidly. The long and dreary night brings scark on hope, but morn returns light. Shall dawn for we, in such terrific hours, when yearing fondness angrily devours. Each moment of protective life is flight, rashly chosen of thy heart has ta'en, where dances, songs, and theatres invite, experiencing sweetness, of evening and pain. I see him in the scenes where laughing glide, pleasures light forms, Ceas' eyes gaily glow, regardless of her life fast dividing time. I hear him who should droop in silent woe, declaim on actors and on tasty sight. Sonnet 28. O genius, does the sun resembling beam to the internal eyes of man display, in clear prospect, a momentous way what leads to peace? Do we not ravers seem dazzled by lustrous and continual stream, till night we find in such excessive day? Art thou not prone, with too intense array, to gild the hope improbable, the dream of fancied good, or bite the sight upbraid, imaginary evils, and involve all real sorrow in a darker shade, to found credulity, to rash resolve, dost thou not prompt, till reason's scared aid, and fair discretion in the fire dissolve? Sonnet 77. How hasteful scene a vernal morning bright, gem every bank and trembling leaf with dews, tinging the green fields with the amber hues, changing the leading streams to lines of light, when seen dull clouds that shed untimely night roll inwardly on, and every ray suffuse, till the chill senses the early beauty lose, and faint and colourless no more invite the glazing gaze of joy. 'Twas emblem just of my youth's sun, on which deep shadows fell, spread from the pall of friends, and grief's loud gust, resistless of woe, wasted tears compel. Yet let me hope that on my darkened days science and pious trust may shed pervading rays. Sonnet 26. O partial memory, years that fled too fast, when we in morn the prison's beauty rise, forgotten all the transient tears and sights, somewhat but dimmed their brightness. O haste chased each hovering mist from the south suns that graced our fresh gay morn of youth, the heart's high price, friendship, and all that charmed us in wise of yet unuttered love. So pleasures past, when thy crystal prism was glow sublime, beam on the gloomed and disappointed mind, when youth and health and the chilled grasp of time shudder in fate and capricious but we find, O wind life's blighted roses to supply, while but reflected shine the golden lights of joy. Sonnet 95. On the damp margin of a sea-beat shore, lonely at eve to wander, or reclined beneath a rock, or time the rising wind mourns over the waters, and with sullen roar vast billows into caverns soaring pour, and back recede alternate, while combined loud shriek the sea foes, harbouring us assigned, clamorous and fearful of a stormy hour. to listen with deep thought those awful sounds, gaze on the boiling, the tumultuous waves, or promontory root, or craggy mounds, staying the furious main, delight has cast on my rapid spirit and my thrilling heart, near as the softer joys green waves impart. Sonnet 91. On the fleet streams, the sun that late arose, and ember radiance play, the tall young grass no foot hath bruised, clear morning as I pass, breathes the poor gale that on the blossom blows, and, as with gold yon green hills so it glows, a lake inlays the vale with molten glass. Now is the year's soft youth, yet me, alas, cheers not as it was wont, impending ooze waits on my heart. The joys that once were mine, spring leads not back, and those that yet remain fade while she blooms. Each hour more lovely shine her crystal beams, and feed her floral train, while I with pale and waning fires decline those eyes whose light my filial hopes sustain. Sonnet 64. Praised be the poet, who the sonnets claim, zealous of the orders that belong, distinct and separate to the Delphic song, shall venerate nor its appropriate name, lawless as you. Peculiar is its frame, from him derived, who stunned the city throng, and rebelled sweet rocks and streams among, lonely reclusive. And that he of fame, a greater Milton, heave by many a lay formed on the order's model, fully shown that English verse may happily display those strict energic measures which alone deserve the name of sonnet, and convey a grander grace and spirit all their own. Sonnet 86. Pride of Lunacy, encircled bound, rival of all Britannia's natives boast, magnificent Killarney from the coast. The mountains rise with noble woods embrowned, to 10 voices echoes send the cannon's sound, and thunders bursting the waste rocks around, till startled wonder and delight exhaust, and countless repercussions, iceless embossed upon the liquid glass, the bloomy whale sorbus and artabutus. Yet not for we, so kneeling wakes our local ecstasy, as o'er the narrow, barren, silent dale, where deeply sleeps rude circling rocks among, the love-devoted fount, and armored Petrarch sung. Sonnet 21. Proud of our lyric galaxy, I heard our faded genius with supreme disdain, as when we see the mist bent insane o'er his full coffers, and in accents drear deplored imagined want and was appear. To me those moody censors who complain, as Shaftesbury plained in no boasted reign, the poesy had left our darkened sphere, whence may the present stupid dream be traced, but now she shines, not as in days forgone, but chains deglazed, often shine in a waste, her lights, from number into confluence run, more when finally in thy horizon place, each orb shone separate and appeared a sun. Sonnet 44. Rapt Contemplation bring waking dreams to his umbrellas wail at noontime hour, while full of thy seems every bending flower, whose petal tremble over the shadowed streams, give her Honora's image when her beams youth, beauty, kindness shone, what time she wore, with smile of gentle yet resistantless power, to soothe each painful passion's wild extremes, or should now empty vain intruder chase, with idle converse by enchantment worn, that brings in all its interest, all its grace, the dear, persuasive visionary form. Can real life a rival blessing boast, nor canst thus restore Honora early lost? Sonnet 99. Remorseless winter, and by iron region comes the loud whirlwind on the pinion borne. The long, long night, the tardy leaden morn, the grey frost, rivaling lane and hill and plain, chill silent snows and heavy pattering rain. These are the known allies, and life forlorn, yet patient, droops, nor breathes repining's wane. But now usurper, when harsh-merely torn, for summer's hand his stores of angry sway. His rattling thunders with the winds unite, and the pale snows whose livid lightness play, that pour their dreadful splendors over his night, do poise the pleasures of his golden day, soft gales, blue skies, and long protracted light. Sonnet 87. Round cleans brown the Delphic laurel twine, and lo, the laurel decks Aminda's breast. Charmed shall her mark its glossy branches shine on the contrasting snow, shall see expressed love's better arms, and the green hues dressed of a selected foliage. Nymph, 'tis fine, the warning story on its leaves to find, proud deafness fate, imprisoned in its rind, and with its ambushed wail, great Philbus power, scorning and bent the feet of wind to foil his swift pursuit, till on dazzling shore, shot into boards and rooted to the soil. Was wont, fair maid, Apollo's heir to shun, soon may his pride and watery lot be o'er. Sonnet 27. See withered winter bending low his head, his wake looks stiff with hoary dew, his eyes like frozen lakes of livid hue, his train a sabbath cloud with murky red, stragged, behold his nitrous breathing shred, a terrific death. Lean, wailful birds pursue, on as he swept over the dun lonely moor, amid the battling blast of all the winds. But while where sleet the climbing sailor blinds, lash the white surge to the sounding shore. So comes woe, winter finally to doom, a sinking year, and with her ice-dropped sperry should press and hew and garland her pale tomb, her vanished hopes and departed days. Sonnet 9. Seek not, alas, bear the scurrilous dale, or be a woe to its shades a tranquil heart, since rankles most in solitude the smart of injured charms and talents, will fail to meet their due regard, nor e'en prevail, where most were wished to please. Yet since by part is large in life's chief blessings, by deserts sullen the world, alas, how many wail, dire loss of the best comforts heaven can grant, but wave a bitter tear in secret power, smote by the death of friends, disease or want, slight wrong and why self-volume so deplore, thou but resemblest in thy lonely haunt, a Ceas penning on the watery shore. Sonnet 8. Short is the time the oldest being lives, nor has long mighty 1 hour to waste. Life's duties are proportioned to the haste with which it flees away. Each day receives its takes, that if neglected surely gives. The more double toil, ye who have passed, neither sport or days that fled too fast. Days that no grief recalls, nor care retrieves. At length be wise and think whether the part remaining in that vital period given, how short the date and the prospected start, ere to the extremest verge your steps be driven. Nor let a moment unimproved depart, but view it as the latest trust of heaven. Sonnet 41. Since dark December shroud the transient day, and stormy winds are howling in their ire, why comes not thou, who always canst inspire the soul of cheerfulness and best array, a sullen hour in smites? How haste to pay, who caudal wizards sullen hours require? I want to circling walls of glowing fire, shines, but it vainly shines in this delay, to blend by spirits warm Pomphretan light. Come when its signs and its friendships call, where vote despical, come for way in white. The social powers without we languish all. Come when I may not hear the winds of night, nor count the heavy drops as they fall. Sonnet 98. Since my grieved mind some energy regains, intrudious habits can at times repress the weight of final woe, the deep distress of lifelong separation, yet its pains, of do the throb along with feathered veins. My rest has lost its balm, the fond caress wont to dear, aged forehead to impress at midnight as he slept. Nor now obtains my uprising the blessed news, but count in part joy to the morning, when its dawn had brought some health to its weak frame, o'er which my heart with fearful fondness yearned and anxious fought. Time and the hope that rubs the mortal dart of its fell sting should cheer me as we ought. Sonnet 78. Sophia's tempest meet to her social waltz, that mid the vast metropolis arise, where splendor dazzles and each pleasure wise in soft allurement, and each science calls to philosophic domes, harmonious halls, and mysterious galleries. With duteous sights fillet and kind, and with averted eyes, amid the gay temptations as it falls from seduction pain. Here I stay, fixed by affection's power, nor entertain one latest wish that might pursue to stray from my ache nursling in this life's divine way. But like the needle, by the magnet's sway, by constant trembling resistance maintain. Sonnet 30. That song again, that sounds my bosom thrill, brief of past years to all her joys allied, and as the notes through my scoffed spirits glide, dear recollections choice sweets distill. soft as a morn calm dew on yonder hill, and slants the sun upon its crazy side, tanging the brooks that many a mead divide. With lines of gilded light, and blue and still, the distant lake stands gleaming in the vale, singing yet once more a well-remembered strain, which oft made vocal every passing gale, in days long fled, in pleasure's golden reign, the youth of change to Honora. Now it whirs, her air, her smile, spells of the vanished years. Sonnet 96. The breathing freshness of a shining morn, whose beams glance yellow on the distant fields, a sweet, unutterable pleasure yields to my dejection sense, or turns with scorn on the light joys of dissipation born. Scared remembrance on her bosom shields, against each glittering lance she gales whilst, weighing the fond regrets, the silent mourn, the heart's dear comfort lost. But nature, thou art resistless still, and yet I ween the present balmy gates and vernal blow to memory own the magic of a scene, for which such fragrant breath, such obedient rays, shone the soft mornings of my youthful days. Sonnet 15. The evening shines in May's luxuriant pride, and all the sunny hills at distance glow, and all the brooks that thro the valley flow seemed liquid gold. Oh, had my fate denied leisure and power to taste the sweets that glide o'er walked minds, as the soft seasons go, and were still very in progress for my woe, my heart has felt what balm had me supplied. But where quaint nature smiles, as here she smiles, at verdant vales in gently swelling hills, and glassy lakes, and mazy, murmuring rills, and narrow wood-wide lanes, a spell begins. The impatient sight of grief, rencontres, poetic minds of live, with all her ills. Sonnet 2. The future and its gifts alone we prize. Few joys of present brings, and woes alloyed, the expected fullness leaves an achieving void. But hope stands by and lifts her sunny eyes, but gild the days to come. She still relies, the phantom happiness not thus shall glide, always from life, alas, yet ill betide. Horse does experience when she coldly tries, in distant roses, to discern the throne. Ah, is it wise to anticipate our pain? Arrive then when is so enough to mourn, nor call the dear consoler false and wane, when yet again, shining through April tears, those fair enlightened eyes beam on advantage years. Sonnet 53. The knell of whiter tones, his cares are past, the hapless tribute of his purchased lace, a several his Egyptian task of praise, if not supplied with strains, fame justly placed, where power above her were. Now with white gaze of much Indian wonder, she surveys to a life laboring or a studious haste, a glowing bard, by every muse embraced. A warden, chosen prize to furthest crawl, shall a rapt song be well, hymn the throne, whether its edicts just applause inspire, or patriot virtue view them with a throne. What needs for this the golden-stringed lyre, the snowy tunic, and the sun-bright zoo? Sonnet 13. For child of night and silence, balmy sleep, she the soft poppies in my aging brow, and charmed to rest the thoughts of winds, or how vanished the price affection, wont to keep each grief of mine from ringing into woe. When stern misfortune from a bended bow loosed the dire strings, and care and anxious dread, my cheered heart on sullen pinion fled. But now the spell dissolved, the anchor drift gone, ceaseless those cruel finds infest my day, and sunny hours but light them to the prey. When welcome midnight shades, will my wished boon may in oblivious dews on my eyelids steep, or child of night in silence balmy sleep. Sonnet 97. Thou silent door of our eternal sleep, sickness and pain, debility and woes, all the dire trains of ill's existence knows, thou shuttest out forever. Why when weep this fixed tranquillity, so long, so deep, in a dear father's clay-cold form? The rose no energy and living health bestows, through many a tedious year, but used to creep in languid deprivation, where the flame of intellect, resplendent once confessed, dark and more dark each passing day became. Now with angelic lights the soul invest, come let me yield to thee a joyless frame, for silent door of everlasting rest. Sonnet 37. Through changing months a well-attended mind welcomes with gentle or terrific pace. When our retreating autumn's golden grace, tempestuous winter's breeze and heavy wind, innate asperity or musing find, grandeur increasing as the glooms effect, variety and glow. Each solemn trace exhales the thoughts of central joys we find, and blended in our rapt ideas rise, when its charms with summer sounds reveal, with all of desolation that now lies right before us. Teach thy soul to feel all the present, pleasure in the past, and to see vernal morns in hope's perspective cast. Sonnet 63. The Genius Colebrooke, faithless to his charge, amid the woods and vales, the rocks and streams, form for the train that haunts poetic dreams, maidens and nymphs. Nor hears the toiling barge, and the sword cyclops ever clanging fork dine in the dales. Amidst the dark red gleams, from ambered fires on all the hills, the beams, solar and pure, to shroud with columns large of black sulphurous smoke that spread the veils, like funeral crape upon the southern road of romantic rocks. Below the gales it stained the glassy floods, while over the globe to spread the stars metallic, with rude here drones the wild woodland song, and breaks the poetic spell. Sonnet 69. Time and thy charms of fancies we redeem, yon aweless libertine for root and vice. Misleading thought, has he not paid the price, his taste for virtue? Ah, the sensual stream has flowed too long. What charms can so entice, what frequent guilt so appall, as not to shame? A rash belief, presumptuous and unwise, but crimes habitual will forsake the frame. Thus on the river's bank, in the fable law, a rustic stands, sees the stream swiftly go, and thinks he soon shall find the gulf below. Channel dry, which he may safe pass over. Vain hope, it flows and flows, and yet will flow, volume decreaseless to the final hour. Sonnet 88. Up this bleak hill and wintry night's dread hour, with mind cognizant of the scene, I come, to see my valley in the lunar gloom, to see it whelmed amid the cloudy hour. Gleams the cold moon, and shows the ruthless power on yon swirling floods, that white with turbid foam roll over the fields, and billow as we roam. Against the bushes beat, and wail no more, a troubled sea, tossed by the furious wind. Alas, the wild and angry waves efface pathway, and hedge, and bank, and stile. I find but one wide waste of waters, controlled was drier, to tides of misery and disgrace. Love opens the floodgates of my struggling soul. Sonnet 68. Well, it becomes we, Britain, to rule Johnson's high claims, yet boasting that his fires with unclouded lustre, truth retires blushing, and justice knights his solemn brow. The eye of gratitude withdraw the glow, the small strain inspired, where zeal requires that thou shouldst better guard the second liars, source of bright fame, than to bestow perfections reft on him, whose ruthless hand, goaded by Jesus' rage, below its store, that justice, truth, and gratitude demand, should deck those lyre, till time should be no more. A radiant course did Johnson's glory run, but large the spots that darkened on its sun. Sonnet 56. What bashful wildness in those crystal eyes, Verzilia! Ah, more dear to love the gaze that dwells upon its object than the rays of that rage glance, quick as in summer skies, where lightning's lambent flash, when neither rise thunder nor storm. I mark while transport plays warm in the lover's eye what reed betrays my throbbing heart, yet why from his soft sides fleets thou to swift away, like the young hind that bending stands the fountain's brine beside, when with a sudden gust the western wind rustles among the boards that shade the tide. See from the stream anxious and banning starting she bounds with terror rain as fine. Sonnet 34. When death or adverse fortune's ruthless gale tears our best hopes away, the wounded heart, exhausted, leans on all that can impart the charm of sympathy, a mutual wail. O shouting! Never can her warm tears fail to balm our bleeding grief's severest smart. The holy vein fake to pity's solemn art. While we should penetrate his heavy weight, concerning, known to be assumed our pains, respecting, kinder welcome far acquires, when cold neglected, or mirthful grief profanes. Thus each faint glow warm at the night conspires, gleaming along the moss and darkened lands, to cheer the gloom with her unreal fires. Sonnets by Seward. Sonnet 1. When life's realities with sound perspectives, vain duel betrays course. If she glows with rising energy and open throws, the golden gates of genius she achieves, as her climb delighted and receives. Rose-gate paths decked with fauntless rose, blessed compensations, low with all the bros. Lures the false world and the fine spirit grieves. No more young hope tints with a lighter bloom the darkening scene. When to ourselves we say, come, bright imagination, come, illume by orient lamp with recompensing ray, shine on the mind and pierce its gathering gloom with all fire of intellectual day. Sonnet 39. When morn the dark winds of the lonely plain, from pale noon sings a fifth cold hour, where transcend light, imagination's power, with knowledge and with science in a train, not unproportioned high ice rain, perceives sense in the deep and silent lore, high themes wrapped concerning thoughts explore, free from external pleasure's glittering's chain, and most of understanding's culture pace, luxuriant harvest, nor shall folly bring aids obtrusive. When, with ardent gaze, measures to reach rich resources bring, while sullen winter's dull, imprisoning days hang on the vacant mind's beflagging wing. Sonnet 84. While on sere leaf that parching autumn gilds trembles upon the fine and naked spray, November, dragging on a sunless day, lures, cold and fallen on the watery fields, and nature to a waste dominus yields, stripped her last robes with gold and purple gay. So drops my life off your soft beams despoiled, youth, health, and hope that long exulting smiled, and the wild corals and the bloomy hues of merry springtime spruce on every plain, the half-blown bushes, moist with sunny rain, of pensive thoughts in my sunk heart infuse, when winter's grey and desolate domain faded like my lost youth that now bright spring renews. Sonnet 71. While summer roses all their glory yield, to crown the watery of love and joy, misfortune's victim hails with many a sight. We, scarlet poppy of the pathless field, goldy, yet wild and lone, no leaf to shield. The flaccid west, that, as the gale blows high, flaps and eternal floats round the head. So stands in the long grass a love-crazed maid, smiling aghast, while stream to every wind her garish ribbons smeared with dust and rain, but bring sick visions, cheat a tortured mind, and bring false peace. Thus, lulling grief and pain, kind dreams oblivious from the juice proceed, for flimsy, showy, melancholy weed. Sonnet 79. While unsuspecting trust in all that wears virtue bright semblance stimulates my heart to find its dearest pleasures in part, taking in others' joys, yielding to theirs its own desires. Each latent wish that bears the selfish stamp. Oh, let me shun the art, taught by smooth flattery in a courtly mart, where simultaneous studies smile and snares, scorned exterior varnish for the mind, which, while it polished the manners, wails in showy clothes the soul. E'en thus we find a glass o'er whose surface clear the pencil steals, grown less transparent, too, with colours gay, sheds by the darkened and amberous ray. Sonnet 49. While the false pride and narrow jealousy numbers reject each new expression, one but change from language richer than our own, out of glad welcome may the poet see extension's golden vantage. Decree each way exclusive, scorn and re-enthroned, the obsolete if strength or gaze of tone, or imaginary awaited with a free and liberal daring of a critic train, whose eyes zero our verbal stores review. At the firm bard require what we explain, the cause of censor and the balance true, waited but smile at the objection wane, and sickly spirits hating for we do. Sonnet 60. I have used woe and we, with disdain mean, the little maiden of a downtown wave, high mid rocks, where her clear waters lave, a circling gloomy basin in such a scene, silent, sequestered few demand, I ween, the last perfection Phaidon chisel gave. Dimly the soft and musing form is seen in the hushed, shadowy, lone concave. As sleeps a pure or darkling fountain where a laughter recollector strengths the spine upon its mossy brink, with pendant hair as dripping over the flood. are well combined, such gentle graces, modest, pensive fair, to aid the magic of a oratory shrine. Sonnet 47. With elder often see a bard explore the central caverns of a mornless night, where never muse performed her minious rite till now, and lo, upon this very floor, advanced to welcome him each sister power. Petra, stern queen, Fusilia, called bride, and call the gnomes to marshal in his sight. The jilted encrust and the veined ore in flashing gem, when, while his songs portray the mystic virtues golden gems acquire, with every charm that mineral scenes display. The imperial sisters praise the daring lyre, and grateful hail its new and powerful lay, that seats them high, aim the muses' choir. Sonnet 70. Yes, thou shalt smile again. Time always heals, in youth, the wounds of sorrow. Oh, survey yonder subsided deep, throw night a prey to roaring winds, and to the furious peals surging tumultuous. Yet, as in dismay the settling billows tremble, morning steals grey on the rocks, and soon, to pour the day, from the strict east the radiant orb unveils, in all its pride of light. Was shall the glow of beauty, health, and hope by soft degrees spread over the breast? This breeze, these storms of woe, wake with sweet pleasure sense, the wish to please, till from woe's eyes the wonted lustres flow, bright as the sun on calm and crystal seas. Sonnet 89. Yon late but gleaming moon, and how a light shines out unveiled, and on the cloud's dark fleece rests. But his strengthened beams appear to increase the wild disorder of his troubled night. Redoubling echoes seem yet more to excite the roaring winds and waters. Ah, white Ceas resolves that promised everlasting peace, and drew my steps to his enclumbed height. I wish I shudder, strength my longing arms off the steep cliff. My swelling spirits brave the leap that quiets all these dire alarms, and floats my tossing on the stormy wave. But oh, what roots my feet, what spells, what charms the daring purpose of my soul enslave. Sonnet 93. Yon soft star, peering over the sable cloud, sheets its green lustre through the darksome air. Happily in that mild planet's crystal sphere live the freed spirits, whose timeless show swelled my lone sights. My tearful sorrow flowed. Way of these long regrets perhaps aware, view them with pitying smiles. Or when I ever your guardian cares may be one my bestow, for the pure friendship of your youthful days, ere yet ye soared from earth, illume my heart, a rose delivered in dejection's night, and lead it back to peace. As now ye dart from your pellucid mansion, the kind rays, that through misleading darkness stream so bright. Sonnet 22. You, whose dull spirits feel not the fine glow, enthusiasm breathes no more of light, perceives ye in rapt poesy or bright, and fancy's richest colouring when can flow from jewelled treasures in the central night of her deep caves. You have no sun to show where inborn radiance pure goes, and alas go, nor your defects of feelings and of sight to charge upon the poet must presume. Ye lightness minds, whether of title proud, scholar or sage or critic ye assume, arranging has high claims with censor loud, or silky scorn, yours is all the cloud. Gems cannot sparkle in the midnight gloom,